world's leading mathematicians. Their mathematics have led to certain drawings. They haven't witnessed closed and open strings. They believe it only occurs at a quantum level. And now there's a thing called a D-brane. I'm not going to explain it. It's very difficult to understand anyway. But there's a D-brane there. And now it's a photograph. This is another one of the brains. And again, there's an membrane theory. And anyone reading any of the creation, Green's work, they talk about the brains. And there's another, what we call octopus, or one of the clusters. So we've got an open string and a closed string. So the bar now is deflated and inflated. The orb inflates it, the thing deflates it. And that is how we see this creation energy. Now we all got televisions, laptops and wireless things and whatever, and we know that there's waves all around us. In fact, you could pick up S4C here, or you could put Sky Sports up here, and that's in a wave format. That's here. Sky Sports is here now. We know that. We know it's there. We know it's in. Sky Sports is in the room, present with us. We cannot have a receiver to code it, and yet it's here, and it travels on waves. So when everyone's looking at this and saying, "Oh yeah, this is pie in the sky" or whatever, but these waves are present. They're present with us now. We know they are. We know that there are wireless networks around here and all sorts of other light waves, microwaves. So we made some predictions about the science, right? That if the dog could see it and the cat can see it, and there's a little bit of glowing and they fire at the top of stones, and some of the 400 videos we have, there's more of it. We've got it on video as well coming at the top of the stones. Why not people? Why can't we have seen this before? So we decided to have a look at Bronze Age rock art. It's about 400,000. It's 4,500 years old. That is a detail pole. This is in Denmark. What you'll see is this, they call them cup marks, because the petroglyph specialists, just call them cup marks, Anyway, I've lost my mouse a moment. The end is cut off on that one, the end's cut off on that one, the V-shape cut off as well, and the V-shape. Three of them linked together, and divided as well, separated, elongated, and in the wave format. So no, everyone talks of the megalith builders of saying, well, we've lost something, because we never knew how they moved the stone, we never knew anything about them, we've lost all this. And so we've seen these attached to trees, and so why won't they attach to us? Why aren't they? It creates us. If this stuff creates us, then it should be able to attach to us. So we found this piece of rock art. It's painted with vegetable dye. The Scandinavian rock art do that just so photograph. Otherwise you just see dimples and you won't see the details. So they painted with a vegetable dye. They spent hours doing it. You can look at the Scandinavian rock art and you can see why they painted it white. Because other rock art images, you just get you can't see the detail very well. Here's a photograph of orbs attaching to the hand, which is what we predicted. So healers, any healer will say, I feel pins and needles in my hand when I'm healing. Have you ever, anyone seen a healer? Anyone ever known anyone who's a healer?
No, I've not seen
Been a healer?
Been
to a healer. Well, there's a thing called Reiki, and Reiki use energy, and so there's energy. I mean, there's heat coming on my hand at the moment. That's energy. There's Sky Sports in here as well. We don't get frightened about Sky Sports, and we shouldn't really be anything concerned about waves and bars and whatever around us. So we also then look for other scientists who are predicting the rock art, that it's energy that they were recording, or what they saw in the skies. And Parrott's work, he's a leading plasma scientist, came up with the same things. This is a plasma film from the laboratory, and these are drawings, and he's written scientific papers on it. So there's a little bit of work that endorses our work. We also thought that if there was, we're talking of tens of thousands of rock art images, all over the world. Every single culture has it. Why haven't they been recorded throughout time? And of course, we decided to have a look to see if our theory is right. And that's in France, in 842. That's in Basel in 1566. And this is exactly what we were predicting, the orbs coming out of the tube. What we weren't predicting is this. They fall from the sky and explode on the floor. We weren't expecting that. And we followed the line of inquiry. What you've got is the distinct features of the orbs in the tube. You've got the holes in them. But the orbs falling from the sky is something that I had an idea of, but I didn't quite, because if they create matter, then they should be dense as well. So that's someone in my university, knows somebody in Basel who's translating that at the moment. But he talks of what we predicted, that the orbs in the sky, they hover, and they fall from the sky. Which is not what we were predicting, as I said. But, so we were aware that this was the we wanted to look for these spheres that fell from the sky. If mass attack, is that another group? No. We thought we went to look for these spheres. Now that's 3.2 billion years old. It's a Klugsdorf sphere. People have written books saying that ancient aliens made those because they're made of metal. There is no scientific way in current science that they can be formed. And they are formed in the Wonderstone mines in South Africa. They also talk about them being formed in zero gravity. So what we have is another type of them. I bought these on the internet. They're called Jamie stones or rocky marbles or whatever. But I asked them for the mist shape spheroids, because I was looking for distinct features of how they link together. And of course, orbs will divide, as you see here. And what we had is these, we bought these from America. And what you have is the linked orb that we've had photographs of. And they encase during volcanic action, and the magnetic field of the Earth changes, charges them to the surface of the orb, and then they fall, like in the picture from Basel, in Nuremberg, they fall to the ground. So, you say, well, that's far-fetched. Nobody's ever told me that spheres fall in the upper atmosphere and fall to the ground. Yeah, in 1921 they fell for 4 months, and it was recorded in the Chicago papers. Professor Studley, and you can do research on that on the internet. Professor Studley studied it, and it was reported in the Chicago Chronicles or something. So it's falling from the sky for 4 months. We also predicted that the tubes or the bars that we said we talked about, they would also fall. Now these are 400 million years old. So what people say is UFOs came down and they built metal objects. This is what there are a couple of theories. One is it's a concretion, one is not a concretion. Concretions are stalagmites and stalactites, and they look in a certain way. They're never very hollow. They're usually hard. Pearls are a concretion, it's solid. No, but that's an organic concretion. Kidney stones are organic concretions. And these don't look really like anything that describes the process. That is a boulder on the beaches, it's hollow inside. Perfectly spherical, and everyone says, well, they're man-made. There's hundreds of them. They got them in Bosnia, they got them all over the world, but nobody ever bothered. It's part of the neglected geology that they just turn their back on because they can't explain it. In the 18th century, there was a belief that some of these things are called thunderbolts, and they were believed to form in thunderstorms, charging to the orbs falling from the sky. And yet people have dismissed that science. They just